በተለመደው ቦታ ያሉ ሰዎችን ቪዲዮ ሪአክት እናደርጋለን። አብራችሁን ቆዩ፣ የትም እንዳትሄዱ። ወደ ቪዲዮ
Mandy Sellers has no problem with being overweight. Her upper body weighs just 84 pounds, but the bottom weighs 210 pounds. It's just 80.
Upper wood, I think upper wood, 38 kilogram.
4 pounds, but the bottom
95 kilogram. 95 ሲደመር 38 አስባችሁታል? 133 kilogram እንደማለት እኮ ነው በአጠቃላይ።
Weighs 210 pounds. How is that possible? Mandy was born with a rare genetic disease that leads to uncontrolled growth of organic tissues. This disease affects only 120 people on the planet.
ማለት እንደዚህ አይነት ብዙ የተለመደ አይደለም። ከ7 ቢሊዮን ኦልሞስት ከዛ በላይ ካሉት ውስጥ ወደ 120 የሚገመት ሰዎች አሉ።
Mandy has had very large legs since she was a child.
ማለት ከቦዲ በታች ያለው እንትኗ ይመስለኛል እግሯ ነው ይሄን ያህል ኪሎግራም ከፍ ያለው።
And every year they grew bigger and bigger. At 19, she used crutches on good days and a wheelchair on bad days. And yet, Mandy doesn't give up. She does an excellent job with household chores, drives a car, and even got a bachelor's degree in psychology.
Gary Turner. This is Gary Turner, but most people know him by a different name, Elastic Man. He took the Guinness World Record for the stretchiest skin all the way back in 1999. And nobody has been able to beat him since. His performances might look uncomfortable, but actually he can stretch his skin without any pain. This is all because of an extreme case of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Syndrome
a genetic disorder
ነው እንደዚህ የሚያደርገው
that can affect ligaments, internal organs, and of course the skin. As a result of this, his skin is super stretchy because of defective collagen, but it's not without problems. Any wounds in his skin take a long time to heal, and he had to quit football because of it. But these days, it's not too much of a problem, and he uses his stretchy skin to his advantage by working as a sideshow performer.
በጣም የሚከፋ ማለት ኖርማሊ ሊሆን ይችላል ነገር ግን ብቻ የሆነ አስባችሁታል የሆነ ግራም ያጋባ ነገር ነው ትንሽ ይደብራል ቆዳው ራሱ እንትና ይልም ታውቃለህ እንዴት እንደ
Zion Clark's story is even cooler. Zion was born without legs, yet became an excellent fighter. That's right, this guy fights with professional athletes and comes out on top. Zion's story is the story of a real hero. When he was born without legs, his parents abandoned him. Lived in shelters, got passed from one foster family to another, and couldn't find a place for himself in life. Until a coach at his school invited Zion to try his hand at wrestling. The boy started training and he was good at it, but more importantly, he liked it. Zion spent hours in the gym and turned his arms into weapons. But that's not all. Zion became a state champion in wheelchair racing, has a passion for music, plays in a church band, and went to college. Now you know what a real Superman looks like.
አንደኛ አንደኛ ይህንን ቪዲዮ ያያችሁ ያላችሁት ግን የምር ሙሉ አካል ሙሉ ጤና ምናምን ይዛችሁ የምታማሩ ካላችሁ ረፉ ተመስገን በሉ የምር
On his parents.
Devendra Suthar. Most of us learnt to count on our fingers and sometimes our toes too, but Devendra Suthar would have been very confused if he tried that. That's because instead of 20 fingers and toes, he has 28. That's
28 የእጅና የእግር ጣት አሉ። እናንተ በእርግጠኝነት መናገር ይችላል 20 ነው አይደል? የሰው ግን 28 አስባችሁታል ልጅ እያለ ለመቁጠር ምንም አይቸገርም እኮ ፓፓ
2 extra fingers on each hand and 2 extra toes on each foot. Well, it's not that uncommon to have an extra 1 or 2 on each hand and 2 extra toes. Well, it's not that uncommon to have an extra 1 or 2. His specific form of polydactylism is extremely rare. So rare, in fact, that he holds the Guinness World Record for the largest number of fingers and toes in
actually ያለማችን ትልቁ ብዛት ያለው የእጅና የእግር ጣት
the world. So, what would someone with extra fingers choose to do for a living? He's a carpenter. It seems unwise for someone with extra fingers to choose a job where people with only 10 fingers regularly cut one off. And he does say he has to be extra careful, but the extra concentration hopefully makes him particularly good at carpentry.
How old do you think this guy is? 10? Well,
ቀበጥ ይመስላል ያፍታም ልጅ 14
wrong. He's 30 years old.
ምን ጆሮ አይደለም መቼም 30 አመቱ ነው ሰዎች 30 ማለት 13 or 30
Shin Hyo-min suffers from the rare Highlander syndrome. When he was 10 years old, his physical development stopped. Shin is now only 5 feet 4 inches tall, has a childish appearance, and no facial hair. At the same time, Shin has a completely adult mind and corresponding interests. He loves to hang out with his buddies at the bar and meet girls. But Shin doesn't have a girlfriend.
so ብቻ ያጭር ሰው ምን መሰላችሁ ጄኔቲክ ዲስኦርደር ነው ማለት ከ10 አመቱ በኋላ ግሮዝ ማድረግ አቆመ ስቲል አሁን 30 አመቱ ነው እና ደግሞ ቺኮች ሚት ማድረግ ይፈልጋል ነገር ግን በቁመቱ ምክንያት ይሁን በሌላ አይሳካለትም እና እስካሁንም ገርልፍሬንድ የለውም
are embarrassed to date a man who looks like a 10-year-old boy. No one wants to sell him alcohol either. Even a photo ID card doesn't help. Bartenders are convinced that Shin's documents are fake.
Still, መታወቂያው ለሱ አይሰራለትም አስባችሁታል እናንተ በሱ ቦታው ናችሁ የሆነ 30 አመት ሆናችሁ ነገር ግን 10 12 13 አመት እድሜ ልጅ መስላችሁ ምናምን ሲዳችሁ ስራ ለመቀጠር ይሆን ይችላል ሌላ ብቻ መታወቂያ ለሚያስፈልጋችሁ ነገር ሄዳችሁ መታወቂያችሁን ስታሳዩ ማንንም ማያምናችሁ ያጋጥማል ባይባልም አያጋጥምም ብቻ ግን ያሳዝናል
Poor guy.
ብቻ ግን አንዳንዴ ነገር በችኮች ቢሆን እርግጠኛ ነኝ ደስ እንደሚላችሁ እድሜያቸውን በተለይ እንትን ለሚሉት ስባችሁታል ከ30 ማለት እኮ ኦልሞስት ወደ 20 አመቱ ብትሰክስ ምንም አይባንንም
Matthias Schlied. Everyone has memories of Popeye's huge arm muscles pummeling some goon. Bet you didn't ever expect to see someone with a real-life arm like that, but now you can. Matthias Hellboy Schlied has a rare genetic defect that's made the bone in his right forearm 33% bigger than his normal-sized left arm.
አንደኛው ሳይዙ የቀኙ ከግራው በ33% ይበልጣል አንደኛውን እጁ ማለት ስባችሁታል ምን ያህል ትልቅ እንደሆነ
Every superpower has its purpose, so it won't surprise you to learn that Matthias has been a very successful professional arm wrestler for over a decade. But actually, when he was about to start out, he was laughed at by other pros for wanting to get into the sport because he doesn't weigh nearly as much as your average arm wrestler. What they didn't realize is that most of his weight is in his wrestling arm, and most of his competitors never stood a chance against him. Isaac Johnson. Isaac Johnson from Minnesota looks like your average teenager, right up until the moment he opens his mouth. He has the Guinness World Record for the biggest mouth gape, and they're not joking.
አፉ ሲከፍት ምን ያህል ትልቅ እንደሆነ ያያችሁት ነው ማለት በቃ actually Guinness World Record ሁሉ ባለቤት ነው በትልቅ አፍነት
Joking around with this one. He can open his mouth so wide, most people would presume they're looking at CGI enhanced footage. How wide is it really? 3.67 inches.
ስንት ማለት ነው 3.67 ኢንች ማለት
Seriously, grab a ruler and check how wide your mouth opens for a comparison. I guarantee it's nowhere near that big. I'm not sure how useful it is, but I'm sure a teenage boy appetite, and if that fails, maybe he should check if he can get a job in the movies playing It, or Jaws even.
No, 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 no!
brother or እናንተ ራሳችሁ ቤት ላይ ቢኖር አስባችሁታል ምን ያህል ሊወድም እንደሚችል
Hell no! 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 I refuse. No!
Still ብርቱካኑ በቃ ብርቱካኑ ነው ከሱ ጋር ፊት ማድረግ አይቻለው
No!
ውድ የጎፈሬ ሪያክት ቤተሰቦች የዛሬው ቪዲዮአችን ይሄንን ይመስል ነበር ቪዲዮ ከወደዳችሁት ላይክ ቻናሉን ሰብስክራይብ ማድረግ አትርሱ በሌላ ቪዲዮ እስክንገናኝ ድረስ ባይ ባይ